call the meeting to order at 5:34. All right, we will do quick attendance. Dan is here. Kim?
Yep.
Laura? Laura said she couldn't make it. Maureen also said she couldn't make it. Nate?
Nate, sure.
Kelly?
Kelly's gonna try, I just got an email from her, so I'm gonna try to resend that link to her.
Okay, we will try to join via Zoom. And then we got our ex officio members, Karen and Barbara. All right, and Krista is not here. Okay. All right. Next, recapping last meeting. Last meeting, we all kind of went through and dug into the survey. I pulled up on the big screen. We were able to adjust the questions and answers for that. Got a final draft of that, sent that around to everyone, I believe earlier last week. So tonight we'll be able to kind of go through, make any final edits to that, and kind of discuss how we want to get that information out there to people. And we also, last meeting, kind of forgot to circulate our minutes from our August meeting. So tonight, can we please have a motion to approve the minutes from August and September's meeting?
I'll make the motion. I'll second it. Can I do that? So it's official.
Whatever, probably not, but I'll. Have Nate. Okay. Anyone opposed? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Okay. So on to tonight. Hope everyone was able to look at the survey. If not, I do have a printed out copy here, if anyone wants to take a look at it real quick.
I thought it was very well done. Yeah. I agree.
Kelly Otis is on.
Hi, Kelly.
If you want to drag it over to that.
Oh, yeah. There she is.
Hi, Kelly, can you hear us?
No, sure.
Hi, Kelly, can you hear us?
It's not important as I.
You're not muted. Because you can see it's getting the audio down there.
But none of my captions are coming up. Can't see things that-
You gotta click the show captions.
Oh, Can you hear us?
Maybe she's having
Must be on.
technical issues there.
Well, when she,
Oh, she
looks
did
like,
that.
yeah. All right, so we will keep moving forward. So with the survey, thank you everyone for your input on kind of the question types and Karen for suggesting we kind of explain what our the issue areas are, so people know kind of what it is we're asking them about.
Is this your only copy?
Yeah. Sure.
Okay,
Yeah, if
yeah.
anyone want to pass around or, I can print off another one, it's not hard. So like we talked about before, it's very short, it's just 3 questions and then the optional 4th one, if they want to, you know, provide an email address to add to the town's email list. Again, they are able to rank their top 3 for all questions. The first one is, what are the issues that matter most to them? Then what is it they would most like to see from CAP, so we can kind of tailor what our goals are going to be in the future, and then how they would like to communicate with us. Added a few more options there just because we decided we're going to do our in-person meetings in and around the community. And also at the most recent town board meeting, I did a brief update on the committee's activities. The town board sends their thanks for our work and is very excited to kind of see what CAP will be doing. Councilwoman Rudolph also suggested that we share our survey with organizations like Rotary, which I happen to be a member of. I plan to do that at this week's meeting on Thursday. And if anyone else is a member of any groups or organizations, I was talking to Sue earlier before everyone got here. We're going to try and put together kind of like a brief flyer. This is a very rough copy, but it's just a quick little sheet that has, the mission statement for CAP, as well as a link to the survey and a QR code. So people can kind of just take that piece of paper, take a picture of it with their phone, and it'll pull up the survey right then and there for them. So does anyone have any kind of questions, comments, edits to the survey? Before we kind of move forward
We
with
should distribute that to the Kiwanis too.
Kiwanis?
Okay. We would ask somebody at Rotary, they all know who Kiwanis are.
Mhm. Okay,
Are you in that town, Canada?
yes, well, it's town and city.
Town and city,
Yeah.
is, George here,
I don't think so.
He's always funny, he's good at getting information out of that, so. He was in the town, he's in many clubs, so
Yeah.
I'll see if I can. Get one.
All right, so kind of with that, next, now that we have this survey, if no one else has any, edits they want to make to it, now our next kind of goal is trying to get the word out about the survey.
Is that gonna be an email blast? Is that how you're gonna distribute it?
Right now, in the newsletter,
It's in the newsletter?
it will be.
Yep, so we're gonna have a little section in the newsletter for it. Like I said, once we have like a physical thing, hoping we can kind of share that around to different groups and organizations we're all part of. Thinking about maybe posting something on social media, quick link there to it, could do a blast email as well. Just ways of getting it,
Be good to try it on Facebook.
Facebook.
The newsletter also gets shared to Canandaigua Chronicles and a Cheshire group as well.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
How is it in the newsletter? In other words, I don't know how I say this. How do they send you the questionnaire back?
Oh, it's a link and then
Oh, okay.
his
Yeah, never mind.
form collects
Okay.
the data.
Exactly.
I'm just making sure the technology's.
Yeah, so it would just, again, be kind of like a brief blurb about the survey,
Yeah.
the link, and people would be able to take it on the Google Forms. Okay. So,
And then that's a spreadsheet or different
Yeah.
things
oh yeah,
on the back side.
I understand what you're doing. I was just making sure nobody had it counted manually,
no.
not to get into a political fight.
Yeah,
But if you did wanna have some printed out,
No.
the town clerk could always
exactly.
have them and. If somebody wanted, they could go there.
That might not be a bad idea, to have some hand copies here, if that's, then, I can always put them in.
Yeah, of course,
Yeah.
People
it's,
that come in and pay the bill.
I don't think you'll get a lot of hand copies, so,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. It's very easy to just, transcribe in there, and the good thing about the Google form, is that it lets you. It collects all the data for you and does like very nice spreadsheets of all the information. You can see exactly how many people clicked what, you can make pie charts. It's very, very user friendly with looking at the data afterwards.
One question, do you have a deadline?
That is not something we've talked about yet. I feel like that's something we should definitely have in mind, but again, because this is still kind of our launch, so to say. It wouldn't hurt, I think, to have it open for,
Do you want it like be the end of the year? Cause then it would hit 3 newsletters.
There's no harm in leaving it open. I mean, you'll get it periodically, you can take the information and use it.
oh, exactly.
So
Yeah.
you probably have the most usage in the first month.
Probably
You know,
so.
leaving it open for
Yeah.
3 months, I think would be great.
And I think you're right too, having it at the end of the year, because then that way we'll have our meetings and around the community.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And we'll be able to get a few more people
And
if
you can
anyone
always,
shows
you can
up.
always say at the meetings that it'll be in the next newsletter,
Mhm.
you know. Fill it out,
Yeah.
folks.
Would you put a date on that at the end of the like, please submit this by December 30th or, just an end date? Or not?
That's what I was gonna encourage in the newsletter, to
Mhm.
have people do it by the end of the year.
Okay.
Okay.
That's why I asked about the deadline.
Yeah. It is possible we could add that, because with the survey, it does allow you to do like an end message. After you hit submit, it says, you can change whatever you want it to say. But it also has the description in the top where we could say, we'd love to get answers by the end of the year.
Yeah.
it just went through my mind, is there a way to, I can't imagine anybody doing what I'm gonna say, but if they make more, fill out more than one?
Yeah, it is possible, because the way it works is you can either have it track the email addresses that,
Oh, that's right,
visited,
okay, never
or
mind,
you
never mind.
could,
Never mind,
not have that.
Yeah, okay, never mind, yeah.
So,
I remember that as a means of doing it.
I think you're better off having people fill in their email addresses. Can you get their email addresses if they don't give it to you, if they fill it out?
yes, there is an option to, it's kind of to Nate's point, it's more so to track and make sure that it's not multiple people filling out the
About the
survey
same-
multiple
same
times.
Yeah.
That way it just collects, okay, it was this email address that
Yeah.
submitted it this one time. I currently don't have that option marked on this, because
And I
again, we
wouldn't.
wanted to make it anonymous, we don't want it to be,
Right.
Well, again, it's optional for them to sign up for the email,
Anyone that goes in and tries to fill out a survey twice, I can regret
yeah.
Yeah,
it. I mean,
I
who
can't
has that much
imagine
time
it.
in their life?
Yeah.
You'll probably see a weird skewing if you get
Right.
10 of them all filled out
Yeah.
exactly the
Right,
same, so.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't think we have to worry too much about that. We'll add the end date.
I think that gives people a lot of.
Oh, yeah, no, I
opportunity.
mean, do we have any demographic, I just forget, we don't have any, do we ask for any demographic information, age? Occupation, that kind of stuff?
We did not in this survey. We initially had a few questions, kind of like identifying people, for that. But then we kind of realized, or we talked about it last meeting, that it would be better if it's just kind of short to the point.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely true.
And again, like, the meeting we had in August, we talked about already having a lot of that demographic
Yeah.
information from the survey that the,
Survey.
Previous surveys, yeah.
yeah, that the towns previously conducted. So. And again, this is kind of, again, more so general, we don't necessarily need to know
Yeah, no.
that information for everybody.
You could always have, next year a different survey and ask different questions.
Exactly.
You could do some more of that type of stuff if you wanted.
Mhm. Okay. So, next, we should kind of put together a plan for our CAP outreach event on the 8th. Partnering with the Cheshire Fire Department. We already have that flyer that Sue created for us, thank you for doing that. That's gonna go out in the newsletter.
Monday.
I already saw it's on Facebook, great. So that's good there.
Cider and donuts.
So
Are you gonna have cider and donuts?
the firehouse offered to do refreshments, so I don't know.
So,
Or
I harped at Jared about having a budget
And
for this.
what
year.
time is
If we're
it?
going to have meetings, we should.
6 to 7.
6 to
Yes,
7,
we
yeah.
should definitely.
6 to
And you
7.
have one
6 to
way or
7.
whether
I haven't
that's-
looked at the budget yet. I'll look and see that it's in there.
But they offered if not, because they obviously know that tickets bringing in food, or tickets bringing in people.
Yes, it does, yeah.
The So, I think I already, one message said that there would be refreshments, so, but we'll get them there one way or another.
Cider and donuts.
Yep.
It's
Seasonal.
it's that
I
time of
think-
year.
Yep.
That would be great if we could do cider donuts and stuff like that. If the fire department's willing to
Yeah.
Yeah.
do it for us, that's even better.
I will not be there. I will be here for the planning board, so.
But kind of more so for structure of the event. I don't think it should be like one of our typical meetings like this, where we're kind
No.
of sitting around at the table. I think it should be more so like a meet and greet. We have maybe the town supervisor, who Sue said might try to make it. He could maybe say a few words. I or someone else on the panel could say some just brief remarks.
Town board members should be there also. I
Mhm.
mean, come on, was their idea. They should be there.
Has anybody invited them? Do you know if they were invited?
Well, yeah, okay. I mean, I.
Okay,
I mentioned the
Invited
event.
Like they were invited to volunteer today, at the Halloween thing.
I mentioned
I
the
can put
event
it
to
that
them
way.
during the update at the
Okay,
town board meeting.
alright.
You did a great job, by the way.
very nice.
But we could definitely send a more formal invitation, I guess, to the board members. And then, of course, we would let the fire safety or the fire department have their fire safety training. They can give out whatever smoke alarms, whatever it is they have to give out. And then it could just be a mix and mingle. We're able to kind of walk around, talk to the people, get their 2 cents on what it is they would really like to see in the community. And then I also talked to Sue about maybe having a laptop handy or printed out copies of the survey. We could walk around and be like, hey, would love for you to write, fill out the survey while you're here.
When you approach the town manager, the town supervisor and the town board, tell them this is an opportunity for you to support not only the needs of the people of the town of Canandaigua, but the new group that you wanted and the Cheshire Fire Department that bows to you at every turn. You can use those words and say Karen said it. That's
I
fine.
say Karen said you better be there.
Yeah. I mean, they would better be there.
It would be nice.
Yes, it really would be. Especially with an upcoming election, even though, there's nobody up for election, but whatever. They gotta think in terms of that.
Probably need name tags too.
Mhm. Is that something like we have on hand, like maybe like the peel off sticker things, you can write your name on?
Some for us.
I don't know.
We could have it,
I'll
we
find
could
some.
buy it with our
Okay.
budget money.
That's true.
Red,
Yeah,
white,
some budget
blue,
money.
little-
Well, do we officially have that money yet, or is that for 2025?
I'll get that.
Okay, but yeah, name tags is a great idea. So does anyone kind of have any objections to that kind of more informal
No,
kind of
no,
program?
that's-
Sounds fine.
Better.
All of those I think is really great. That we have something to give them to with the I'm sorry, my mind's blank. With the survey,
Mhm.
in other words, you got a reason to talk to them, not just bump into them.
Yeah. I wonder if it's not too big of a lift, maybe Sue, when you send me like the Canvas stuff, maybe I could kind of put together a very short brochure almost, a little pamphlet of just kind of what it is we are trying to do this year.
Yeah.
You can give that with them with the survey too.
Yeah, great.
Like talk about how we want to have that welcome booklet or whatever we're gonna make by the end of our year together, so by July 2025. Just, you're right, so we have something more
Yeah.
to give them.
Well, I'm thinking that, sometimes a person would shoot back. What do you mean? What are you guys doing?
Mm.
And you can say, well, you can tell us what to do.
Yeah,
You fill out this here form.
Exactly.
If you get your document that you're gonna make,
More work for you.
done by the weekend, I can probably still slip it in the newsletter, so.
okay.
I'll be working on the newsletter this weekend. so.
Everyone loves him.
Okay. So kind of again with the idea of having a laptop or physical copies, do you think it'd be better just to have physical copies?
No, I don't think
Or
we should. I think you should leave it as a, talk event. And
okay,
I don't believe you should have people filling out the survey at the event. You know, you can have a poster that says, go to, or look
With a
on our
QR.
website,
Mhm.
something like that, and they can take
Okay.
a picture of it. Everybody has these. They take pictures too, you know,
Mhm.
and let them do that. But I think it should be a verbal event.
Mhm.
And that's why I would be really insistent that town board members be there.
Okay. I think that's a great
And
point.
even Jimmy Fletcher, he should be there. You tell him Karen said so.
Why don't you send me a list?
What?
I said, why don't you send me a list?
Karen's VIP list.
I'll get.
The department heads, you know, it would be helpful, Lindsay were
Just got
there,
shortened.
and it's Sarah.
This just
was
got
there
shortened.
because,
It just shortened it.
Michelle, I mean, I
Don't even have
almost
to
think
know who
maybe
you are.
you probably should be for all of them. And the same way with the, property, what do you call
Oh, the zone.
it? Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Ones everyone loves.
but certainly parks are always something, and,
Yeah.
and Sarah, you know, people don't even know what Sarah does anymore, so. Because there's one thing here that one committee submitted already that needs to get the word out, and that's conservation easement, no words out other than it in the newsletter. So these are things that,
I'm working on editing that so we can get it printed. The printer had issues, so,
the printer had issues.
yeah, it
No
wasn't.
stupid printer.
Printer is and where they're getting it printed, so.
Okay, yeah, so inviting the other panels and
Yeah,
committees that
yeah,
the town
it's,
have.
it's an opportunity for people to meet and greet the people that run the town they live in. And to get information that they don't have to go to a meeting for, I mean, it is a meeting, we'll keep that secret. But it's a casual way to
Mhm.
find out the information that they need. And you should also have, what's her name, Oksana there.
She might, yeah, she's
Yeah.
from Cheshire too, so.
Oksana Fools.
I found that one.
That's her babe, that's the events committee.
And Karen brings up a great point with the flyer there. This is another thing Sue brought up that would be really great if we could have CAP's presence at this Halloween event in
This
Crystal
is
Mountain?
so.
Ononda.
No,
Ononda.
Camp Ononda.
Oh,
This
yeah.
is so much fun, folks, so much fun.
And heavily attended.
I can't be there.
Well, I guess it's a lot of fun then.
But it is, I mean, the kids are so cute and they just love it and they love all the things that are going on. And they go from house to house and it'd be cool. I recommend that you like, I'm in the Parks Department, so that's where I would have to be. But the Parks Department, they decorate and everything, have tons of candy
Mhm.
and then send out, you get more candy. It's just, the kids love it. Kids love anything that's candy.
So I don't know if we would have like if the panel has like the wherewithal to do a house there.
Yeah.
Do they look for other volunteers?
They're looking for volunteers in general.
Okay,
Yeah.
cause I think maybe that would be a great way
Yeah.
too. We could, just talk to people.
Or just
Pass out
just
forms.
volunteer in the, you should talk to Oksana, because,
I'll link you guys up tomorrow. I'll link
she,
everybody up.
you know, just talk, you could work in the, they have coffee and, or cider and donut holes and stuff like that. just in the main building, that's full too. But the big thing is seeing these kids, I mean, these kids are a rocket, they just have so, you have no idea, they're so. It's what makes you love this town,
Mhm.
really.
Well, like, that's another thing to keep in mind too, is when there are community-wide events, if the panel is willing, I think it would be great if we, you know, in this case, because it is such short notice, maybe not like participate fully and have like a booth or a table or whatever. But as we slowly kind of get our footing, if we could eventually become a group that has a table, a booth, always has something to hand out, pass out at these events, I think would be great. Because in that way, again, we can kind of capitalize on events that are already taking place, rather than us having to, you know, put together one, host one, like what we're doing for on the 8th.
If you have if you, you're right, you probably can't handle one of the buildings, but a table on one of the porches would be great. And, you know,
Is that something they?
I'll buy
that you
some
do?
bags of candy, everybody can buy bags of candy, I'm willing to contribute some of that too, so.
But you're able to do like a table at this event rather than like a full.
You need to learn to talk to other people, talk to Oksana.
Yeah.
This is her
she's the
baby.
person.
Okay,
And you know, and that, it just kind of occurred to me. We're gonna be at events, but so maybe a better partnership with that committee, the special events committee is, you know,
Yes,
really
yes.
some communication there.
and Oksana's
Yes,
Chair.
so,
Yep.
special event.
yeah, leading up with that.
Because they try to do they do the 4th of July parade.
Mhm.
And in the past, they've tried to do something in the springtime. Like, at the, community center, the ice skate rink thing.
Mhm.
So anything that gets the community together should be fair game for this committee.
Agreed.
And you also want the Parks Committee, because they have you're on the Parks Committee, Yeah. because they have the movie nights and music nights
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
food trucks.
Yeah, but it was a little soon this year to bring in something else, right? But
Yeah.
that is something that
Oh, yeah.
we should consider for next summer.
Looking into the
Because they
future.
do a movie night, they do 2 music nights, 1 movie night. Food trucks are there every week.
Yep.
At Outhouse Park.
And
You
so
know,
we're
it's
saying the
just,
committee should be
that-
present at all those?
Where it can, but I mean,
I mean, maybe not necessarily like have to be like present, but like if we partnered with the Parks Committee, to, you
So
know,
we-
have our name attached.
So
to
we
a
become
specific
part of their,
event.
we function with them, we work for them too. You see what I'm saying? In other words, what I'm hearing is, for myself, is that now I'm gonna have to go to the movies, which is only 2 blocks from where I'm at. But I'm gonna have to go to the movies, maybe even help them move through the machines, I can do that. I'm gonna go to the thing over here and pass out cider and stuff like that, so I've got to put that into my calendar now.
you're saying it might be too much?
Yes, I do.
Well, for me it
How
is.
big is this committee? And it seemed like most of the committee is
Yeah.
older people. So it's gonna be hard to get, I think, them to go to all these things.
Mhm.
I don't think the committee's big enough. I mean, that's just my personal.
I don't advocate going as a committee, I advocate people participating with things that other committees do.
But then the public's not gonna know that this CAP group is there.
No, but you can hear things from the public at places like that. They can say, wow, you know, we really need to have a handicapped trail to that part of the park and we don't have it.
I personally think that
overhear
that's the
things
job of
happen.
their representatives that they've elected to these positions. And if anybody should be present at all those, they're elected representatives.
Yes,
I think you're
yes.
just saying we should communicate with the group just to
Mhm.
get an awareness, not necessarily go to all their events, but just so that we're aware, if like there's a big one, well, let's have at least a table. I I don't think we're looking to have people take
No.
on 15 more
No,
community
I don't
meetings and
know.
events. Just, you know, like not operating in a silo of just CAP, like just make sure we're talking to all these other, just to see what their events are and like, hey, you know, no one can, we don't have anyone that can come, but can we have our table there so that, with a survey, or would you guys might have a handy member survey, or that kind of thing, just more of a communication to know what everyone else is doing, to see if there is something that.
And what Sue says, my point is that you're all new at this committee. You all need to know that there are other committees that work hard in the town of Canandaigua. And you can learn and support them. Doesn't mean you have to be at their meetings, but it really would improve the work that we do here if we're familiar with what these other committees are doing, what they're supporting currently, and what their future goals are.
Yeah, I agree entirely. Yeah, and like I said, even if it's not necessarily us, you know, helping them with the event, if we can just somehow have our name attached to it, like if they do a movie night and we, you know, provide the popcorn and they like, you know, do a shout out or thank you to CAP. It's just like another little promotional thing. We can help them, they can help us. But to Karen's point, I think you're right. It's more so to.
And don't give me the excuse you're old, because I'm probably the oldest one here. I'm
you're
81
not.
years old. And this is not the only committee I sit on, not the only one.
All right, so unless anyone else has anything else they'd like to discuss, I think we could probably wrap up by just summarizing what our action items are going to be for our meeting on the 8th. So what that is Sue's gonna reach back out to talk to the Cheshire Fire Department about them providing donuts, cider, something small like that. It'll be a very, you know, informal program where I'll work with Sue, reach out to people in the town, the board and other committees, see if they're able to attend. That'd be great if we could kind of have multiple different, you know, people in the town represented that the community can come speak to directly. A very short program, you know, town supervisor could say something, the panel could say something very quickly, welcome everybody. Then the fire department will do their fire safety. We'll have hopefully maybe just like a little pass out thing for advising people of the survey, but not having them fill it out while they're there, just something they can take back home with them. And then, so for next meeting, Sue and I can work together on getting in touch with Oksana, other relevant committees that we'll work with, in the future, just so we can kind of establish that line of communication and coordinate moving forward.
Even as simple as them, you know, if they send, I can grab their minutes and send them out as part of our minutes, just so that we're all aware of what other committees are doing.
Mhm.
That's, you know, just
That's a
as
good
simple as
idea.
that, just, you know, so that we know, because that could generate some ideas for us and give us some potential things that we want to do.
Time of the.
We're not duplicating too, we don't wanna duplicate.
It is 6 to 7.
That's not an automatic thing then in the town itself?
What's that,
What you just said,
about the meeting?
you don't
minutes?
communicate to each other?
Well, we try.
Oh. Thank you.
I over communicate.
I communicate to a lot of people too.
The next meeting, you should think in term, maybe the highway garage.
Like the next community meeting, I would.
Cause you could get someone to talk about the town, the dump, Saturday and Sunday using the transfer station. Plowing roads. Maintaining order when you're trying to plow roads.
As long as they're not like all set up for snow plows and stuff in there.
Oh, God.
Hope not.
That wouldn't be a bad idea
Yeah,
ahead of winter.
But it would be great if little kids could see the big trucks.
Oh,
We could do you know, the big thing now is climb on the trucks.
Mhm.
We could do that for the kids, come on in and let them climb on all the trucks.
well, you better look into insurance.
Well,
Yeah.
that's not my department, I just come up with the idea.
And,
But good point.
and then how about a meeting at the sheriff's department?
I don't know anybody there.
Oh, I know the sheriff.
Jail.
Do you? Did you give him a piece of my mind?
The what?
I said, can you give him a piece of my mind?
Is
Her?
that technically the
Him,
city?
him.
Him?
I said her.
Is the sheriff's department technically in the city?
Well, they service the town.
They do.
It's- Yeah,
That's
it's the county sheriff, but they're our primary law enforcement
Mhm.
agency, it's the sheriff's department. And the town of Canandaigua pays them extra every quarter to patrol certain roads that have high incidents of speeding and stupid ass drivers.
Mm.
And people that complain there too.
For people who complain, that's for lack of real terms.
All right.
And they do a great job. Tell them I said that.
It's right on recording, along with stupid ass.
Okay, does anyone else have anything they'd like to talk about tonight? We do have a smaller group, so could kind of call it here.
When is the next meeting on this?
Uh,
Minutes.
Next meeting will be, excluding the one on October eighth, would be November
The fifth election day, do we really?
November
wanna do
what?
that?
No,
fifth. So that's election day, so I don't
no,
think that'll
actually,
work.
this room will be taken,
I was gonna say, don't.
Yeah.
use this one.
Yeah.
yes.
Could we push back to the twelfth then, second Tuesday?
Up to you guys.
Yeah, I think that would be better.
Yeah. Okay.
So in observance of Elections Day, we will we'll have our next meeting scheduled for November 12th.
Wait a second,
Okay.
let me check.
Is that a planning meeting?
That's what I'm just going to
It
check.
probably is, because it's second.
Second Tuesday.
Too late, it's on my calendar.
You wanna do an email where we can kind of survey what would be, change the night that month, or can we do it the night before, on Monday, before? We could kind of do a survey to see when everyone can come.
That's fine. Wanna
We've got enough time.
touch, yeah,
Okay.
we can all touch
Let's do
base
that.
via email then to figure it out tentatively November 12th.
When's the survey coming out?
The survey will go live, the survey is technically live right now. It's just we're still trying to get it out there, so as soon as the newsletter hits,
Oh, that's.
people will
Yeah,
have it.
The planning board is on the
Yeah.
12th.
That's what I mean.
Okay. Yep, so we'll
And
touch
that's
base.
in
then.
here anyways.
Yes.
Yeah, so we're probably gonna go maybe fourth, or we can do the second.
Okay.
Yeah.
TBD.
But like I mentioned before, I plan at Rotary meeting, they meet every Thursday, so this week I'll go, hopefully we'll have the handout with the QR code and the link on it, I'll hand it out there.
Where does it come to? In other words, who's gathering it?
It all goes to the Google form that I have access to.
So you got it.
Yeah. It was my fault if something goes wrong.
I was just going through the least part of the process. And we don't look forward to, just get you out of job, to having summaries of it until the beginning of the next year. Or this year, coming year.
Yep, so if we keep it open until the end of this year, first meeting in January, we'd have our results.
And then you can include it with your year-end report for the town board,
Mhm.
so.
He's the only one that gets a report. Nobody others.
I did.
Oh, no, you're one.
We all look good. All right, well, if there is nothing further, can I have a motion to adjourn?
Yes.
I second.
Alright. Anyone opposed? All those in favor?
I-
I.
Aye. All right.